information relatively quickly. I have a book, How to Find Your Home of Your Dreams here. This is a great read for my clients that I sit down with and I do a consultation with. You'll get this book for free. This one is another book on how to get your home sold in a fraction of the time, or how to sell a house that other people can't sell. So if you're looking to sell a property and take advantage of some opportunity as a seller, I can tell you that there is some opportunity as a seller for you to take advantage of some of this grant money, and we're going to go into that, okay? So how to find a home of your dreams and how to sell a home no one else can sell. These are available to you when we sit down to do our consultation, okay? All right, so let's hop into it. Y'all ready? All right, here we go. I'm going to talk about home buyer myth understandings, okay? Myth understandings. Number one, I have to stay in my rental, okay? If you're looking to buy a home and you have a rental and your rental is not up until next year, you could actually go to your leasing office or whoever you're renting from and let them know that you're looking to purchase. And in most cases, they have an exit clause which will allow you to get out of your lease early, okay? It's a lot of opportunity. Rates are low, the lowest they've been in the past 60 years, and it's a lot of opportunity for you to move sooner than later, okay? The next one is, you need a 700 credit score or 800 credit score to purchase. Absolutely not, okay? There are programs available from 640 and up. There are other programs from 580 to 640. We'll go over some of those, but you don't need a 700 credit score. And if you have a 700 credit score or 800 credit score and someone have a 640, your interest rate is not going to be the same, because if you're going to use the program, it's all going to be the same interest rate. So it's not going to make much of a difference. No. Now, if you're dealing with some ratio issues, sometimes with a higher credit score, they will allow you 50 or 55% of your disposable income, opposed to just 47 to 45, because your credit score is higher and you can show reserves, which is money that's set aside. But in most cases, you only need a 640, okay, and in the 580 in some instances. All right, you need to save thousands of dollars to buy a house. Big myth understanding. This is what these programs are for. They're designed to help you to obtain grant money for your down payment. And if you hire a seasoned real estate agent such as myself and my team, then we can negotiate your closing costs for you. We can negotiate a lot of things for you. So typically you may need about $2,000 to $2,500 of your own money so that you can do a home inspection, which is could be $300 to $500, an appraisal which can be $450 to $600. Your termite inspections, we can run you from $60 to $100, and then when you write a contract, when you submit an offer, you do what they call an earnest money deposit. That could be $1,000, okay? And in some instances, it's higher, and we'll go over those instances where they're higher. But in most cases, you'll need a whole lot of money out of pocket, okay? I own a home and I don't qualify for a first-time buyer program. That's not true anymore. If you own a home, you can qualify. All you would have to do is get your property sold. Again, partner with us. Here's a book. We can get it sold for you. And you will immediately qualify. All right? Now, it didn't used to be that way, but it's that way now. It's a great opportunity for you. What is a first-time home buyer? I've owned a home before. If you have not owned a home in the past 3 years, you qualify as a first-time buyer. But now that they've changed some of the guidelines with some of the programs, it really doesn't even matter at this juncture. Okay? Do I need an agent to buy a house? Absolutely. You want to get with a realtor that can help you through the process of this whole very difficult, intricate buying process. Another one, do I need an agent to buy new construction? Absolutely. When you go to the new construction place, guess what? The person at that builder, they work for the seller. That salesperson that's offering you cookies and candies and, trips and stuff like that, put your name into the hat for tricks and treats and stuff, they work for the seller. So you need to have your own agent, which is considered a buyer's agent. Okay, really important that you do that. Okay, so those are going to be the myth understandings that we covered so far. And again, if you have any questions, write them down. We're going to go through this information. Take good notes. It's a lot of information. We wanted to make this live and interactive, so just take good notes. And we're going to make sure that we take good care of you. Okay. All right. So what's involved in buying a home? All right. Why should you buy a home? All right. So let's talk about paying rent. So if you're renting $1,500, and I know a lot of you paying a lot more than that. This is going to use a scale of $1,500. In 5 years, you pay $90,000. 5 years. In 15 years, that's $270,000. So is it a good time to buy if you're renting? Absolutely. Purchase a home. What is the benefit to buying? Okay, it's an investment. When you purchase a home, a portion of your mortgage is tax deductible. Okay, you build equity into a house as you pay your mortgage and the balance comes down. In the value in the area of the homes go up. You then get equity. Equity means basically the difference of what you owe on the home and what it's worth. So if you buy a house for $270,000, you pay on it for 15 years, but now you owe $220,000, but the houses in the area are going for $300,000, you now have $80,000 in equity. So it's a good investment. Control. In most cases, you'll get a fixed mortgage. It'll be fixed for 30 years. Okay, so you don't have to worry about someone sending you a notice every year raising your rent. Okay, really good. Gives you a lot of control. Okay, now sometimes your property taxes may go up in the area, and that may change your payment, or sometimes the caliber of houses that you have. The interest or the insurance company may increase your premiums slightly, just to adjust the fact that maybe when you bought your home, it was worth $220,000, but you did $30,000 in renovations, and now that home is worth $30,000. So they may have to adjust the taxes and the insurance based off of the new improvements to the property. Okay, fixed costs. We talked about that. Give you a sense of accomplishment. I mean, buying a house and getting married are two of the biggest things people look forward to. Okay, and it really does give you a sense of accomplishment. All right, the tax benefit, again, you get a $1,500 mortgage. Let's say at least $590 to $600 of that is going to be interest that you can write off at the end of the year. So it's a benefit there, and it gives you a sense of stability. Okay. Here's a few tips in terms of what you should do when you're starting the home buying process. Okay, research grants and programs that are available to you. Okay, don't rely on someone else's experience. When you start this process, two people come out the woodwork. The first one, that's the HGTV expert. Now, they know everything. They watch all the episodes, and they try to apply what they see on HGTV to your real-life experience. It just doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. So you have to at least consult with someone that is going in the direction that you're going, or have went in the direction that you went to, as a point of reference. If not, you can hear conflicting information. It can be very stressful. I was working, or I'm helping a young lady that signed up for this webinar. And if you're on here, how you doing? And her loan officer didn't have any information about programs. Her realtor really didn't have any information about programs. So within less than a 15-minute conversation, I was able to hook her up with my preferred lender, one of my preferred lenders. They were able to let her know that she does qualify to secure some grant information or grant programs for her. And hopefully one day next week, we're going to be going out looking at a property. And she has the ability to do 100% financing, 101% financing, and we'll go over the differences as we go along, okay? Make your own decision. Sometimes when I'm out with buyers and they bring the expert with them, they're making all the decisions for you, okay? They're telling you, no, you don't want to buy this house and you don't want to get this. Listen, your mortgage is going to be like an unwanted house guest every month when it shows up if you don't buy what you want to buy. If you want a condo, buy a condo. If you want a single-family home, buy a single-family home. If you want a townhouse, buy a townhouse. Now, you'll be surprised that so many people come to me and tell me they want a single-family home. I show them a townhome. They buy a townhouse. Why? They see something that they was not expecting to see. A lot of people say, well, I really want a townhouse. I show them a single-family home. Wow, I like the space. I like the yard space. So you're gonna have to be flexible and know what you want. Be flexible, but don't let someone talk you into buying something that you don't want. Okay? And research home prices in your area. If you're living in, let's say, Laurel, okay, and you're paying $1,900 to $200 or $2,000 a month in rent, and it's a 2-bedroom townhouse with a garage, okay, and now you want to buy a 3-bedroom house, okay. In most cases, your rent is going to go up or down because that's a lifestyle change. All right. Sometimes I ask people, how much are you paying in rent? They say $2,200. Where you want to live at? I want to live in Beltsville, or I want to live in Owens Mills. What do you want your mortgage payment to be? $1,500. It just doesn't work that way. Well, however much money you're paying in rent to get comparable living expenses or a comparable mortgage that's comparable to your living expenses, you need to be buying close to what you're living in, okay? So if you're in an apartment-style home and you're paying $1,600 in rent and you want to go from a townhouse, that's a lifestyle change. If you have 2 bedrooms, you want to go to a townhouse with 3 bedrooms. That's 2 lifestyle changes. You want to add a garage. That's another lifestyle change. You want to go from a townhouse to a single-family house. That's another lifestyle change. So you have to be cognizant of the lifestyle changes that you will absolutely go through because at the end of the day, that is what's going to be consistent with your rent in your mortgage, okay? So whatever you're paying in rent, understand the lifestyle changes, and it won't be such a shock for you when you go out there and start looking, okay? And if you want to search for homes, go to www.kjjohnsonteam.com. It's a great place for you to sign up, and you can actually search homes from there. Sometimes some of the other apps, they don't really have a lot of up-to-date listings, okay? Don't have a lot of up-to-date listings and all, so you definitely want to go to a viable place so you can look at real listings and don't get your expectations up high, okay? So www.kjjohnsonteam.com, all right? We're getting through this webinar. All right. What's the information you're going to need? Okay. You're going to need your last 3 years tax returns. You're going to need your last 3 months bank statements, your last 2 years W-2s. Okay. If you're getting child support, you're going to need a court-ordered child support, something in writing showing that it's court-ordered. Okay. If you're going through a divorce, a notarized letter or a letter showing that you actually filed for the divorce. Okay. And if you're self-employed, you're going to need a profit and loss statement, okay? Those are some of the information that you're going to need. Now, that could vary from lender to lender, from program to program, but basically, that's what you're going to need up front. So it might not be a bad idea for you to, at the conclusion of this webinar, to gather that information together. Go ahead and put it in a PDF so you can send it out, because you may send it out to more than one person, and you don't want to wait till the last minute to try to get it all together. So, again, 3 years tax returns, 3 months bank statements, okay? 2 years W-2s, most recent 30 days pay stubs, okay? Get all that information together, put it in a PDF, anything about child support, documentation about any type of divorce. If you're self-employed, a profit and loss statement, put all it together in a PDF and just have it ready. So when someone says, I need your documentation, you send them that PDF. You're not scrounging around looking for your paperwork. Okay, now who are the people involved in the process? First of all, you're going to need a realtor. Okay, so I'm a buyer's agent. I work with buyers and sellers. Okay, so it's going to be your agent. And if this is the first time home buyer, it's going to be a buyer's agent. You have a listing agent when actually list the property. Okay, you have a mortgage lender. You have a builder, an appraiser, a termite inspector, a home surveyor, a title insurance agent. Okay, and an insurance agent. When you buy a house, you're going to have to make sure that you get the proper insurance on your house. And while we're there, let's do a sidebar. Okay, when you get insurance on your property, make sure that you get sewer line backup. Write that down. Sewer line backup. What that means is if the sewer line on your property goes up, it's covered under the insurance policy. You would think they would automatically add that in, but they don't. Okay? Now, my good friend Parrish Taylor over at Allstate, one of the reasons why I use him, big shout out to Parrish Taylor over at Allstate out there in Randallstown, Maryland. He adds that in automatically, and it without even having to ask. So that showed me that he was someone who actually cared about the buyer. So that's the reason why I recommend him. Since the first time he done that, I said, okay, this guy has the best interest of the buyer at hand, because he added it in. Because some people, after they purchased their home, experienced some issues, and it wasn't added in, and it wasn't a major increase in your policy, maybe $5 to $12, but it's worth it. Sewer line goes up, that can run you anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000. Depending on the severity of the issue and the size of the house, okay? And then you're going to have a title company and a title attorney. They're going to help facilitate the transfer of the house from the seller to the buyer. Okay, so that all that takes place at settlement. Okay? So we're going to talk about negotiating for a moment. Okay, we're going to do a real live HGTV scenario. Okay? And it's important that as you listen to this, that you really take into consideration what to expect during the home buying process. Okay, so let's just say that you have a buyer, and the buyer is approved for $350,000. Now, everyone come to me and say, I'm approved for $350,000, KJ, but I don't want to spend that much money. And I say, absolutely, I understand. And I say, well, what are you looking for? And they say, well, if I can get a 2-bedroom townhouse with 2 baths, that'll be fine. That'll be good for me in Bowie or, Owens Mills or Randallstown. That'll be fine for me, okay? But then they come back and they say, you know what, KJ, I just thought about it. My son go in my bathroom and he be messing it up, so I need to have him a bathroom in the basement. So make that 3 full bathrooms, and make him as a matter of fact, let's make that 3 bedrooms, because I want him in the basement. I don't even want him to come up at all. Okay, this is real mother talk. Okay, so that's a change, but sometimes with that change, they don't understand that it's going to increase. So the fact that she went from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom, 2 bath to a 3 bath, that's going to take her from her comfort level. She's going to be looking closer to getting to that 350. All right, she's approved for 350, but she doesn't want to spend it. KJ, I don't want to spend over 270. She made a lifestyle change, so now she's already at 285, especially if she's in Bowie, or 290. Then she think about it again. She said, KJ, you know what? I need a garage. There's nowhere for me to park. And when I come home at night, I just want to just have a secure place for me to park. All right? So, okay, no problem. We're going to go into the multiple list. We find 6 houses. Of the 6, she likes 4. We go out and look at 4. Of the 4, she wants to put a contract on 2. But then she thinks about it again. All right? KJ, you know what? I think I want to get a single family house. I really do. I just, my heart of hearts say I want a single family home. So now she wants to go from a 2-bedroom to a 3-bedroom to a 3-bath, from a townhouse to a single family home, and now there's a garage. So you see where she can get closer to that 350, right? And in most cases, that's what happens. That's how you end up at your price point because of the lifestyle changes. Okay, so let's just say, for sake of argument, we get her on the contract. She finds a house, okay, and now, it's time to start doing the home inspection. Okay, it's time to do the home inspection. Okay, you do the home inspection. There are 6 items that come out on the home inspection. Okay, you have a leak in the kitchen bath. You have a roof issue that has some shingles missing. And you have some electrical issues going on in the basement, okay? So basically, these are real-life instances in which we can get through those items. Now, how would you deal with the leak? You get a plumbing certification, Okay? They're going to come in, check all the plumbing, and fix the leak. You get a roof certification. Okay? A roofer's going to go out. They're going to look at the roof. They're going to make any necessary repairs, and then they certify it. So no one can just certify a roof without fixing or repairing it, because then they would be liable for fixing that for you. Okay? Electrical issue. Get an electrical certification. They're going to check the electrical, fix the electrical issue that you have, and then give you some type of certification in writing. Okay? And that's how you deal with some of those issues that come about. Okay? Now, let's talk about negotiating for a moment. I kind of skipped that a little bit. You have 4 levels of negotiating. Okay? You have very passive. Very passive is when you're offering $8,000 to $10,000 off the price of the house, and then you ask for 6% closing help. In most cases, in the Anne Arundel County, PG County area, I call them the 3%ers, because they don't believe in giving anything more than 3% to my buyers. And for some reason, I don't know why that is, but we have to be a little bit more creative, okay? Passive is when you're offering $5,000 to $7,000 off. Again, still asking for 4 to 6%. Now, here's when you get passive, aggressive. When you don't have a whole lot of inventory. Okay, so you want a 3-bedroom, 2 4-bath, single-family home with 1-car garage in Parkville, and when you pull it up, there's 3 houses to choose from, and out of those 3, you like 2, so that's good. But what happens if it's 1? If you only have 1 house to choose from, all right? That's when you need to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, you know what some people say, KJ? God can do the exceedingly abundant. I mean, I'm not making mockery of the Lord, but they say God can do miracles, because somewhere in that conversation, they're thinking that instead of offering that $350,000 and having faith that, listen, I can make some adjustments to my spending habits and things of that nature, they want the seller to come down in price. That, in most cases, I always tell people, act like a seller, think like a buyer. Okay? Or act like a buyer, think like a seller. If you was a seller and you had a home for $350,000, are you going to drop the sales price of your house $20,000 and then give an additional $13,000 in closing cost help, and then have to pay both agents 2.5% to 3% of the sales price for selling the property? No one is going to do that. So when they list that property, they've taken into consideration some seller concession, but they have a lot of expenses that are there before you even write a contract. So in most cases, to be aggressive, you may have to go over the sales price. You may have to go over the asking price. It's okay to come down, but when you're competitive, you have to go over. Now, here's a scenario. Let's just say she likes this property, and the house is $350,000, but just say for the sake of argument, the taxes on the house is low. Okay, so because the taxes are low, she can offer, she can go a little higher, meaning that instead of $350,000, she's now qualified for more like $365,000 because the taxes are less than the lender anticipated. And that happens a lot. Sometimes they'll pre-approve you, or you'll get pre-approved for a mortgage, but then they'll say, I'll give you a tax bill of $4,000, depending on the area. So just say hypothetically in this area, or let's just say your mortgage person gave you a $5,000 tax bill. It's not unlikely to have a $5,000 tax bill in Bowie, but if you decide you want to move to Parkville, then your tax could be $3,700. So that means that your qualification amount can go higher. So in this scenario, she could actually go over the sales price comfortably, and then ask the seller for seller help. So the house is $350,000. It has all the bells and whistles that you want, that you like in it, and it has the upgraded floors. It has the upgraded countertops. So you could probably just offer her $360,000 or $365,000, and then ask for $10,000 or $15,000 in closing cost help. And as long as it appraises, you're in a good position. It's not uncommon. I did that for the whole 16 years in real estate. Both my houses, I was able to do that with. Both my homes, I was able to get seller help using that strategy. Okay? Rest in peace, Mr. Carlton Sheets. He was a real estate investor, and I learned that from Carlton Sheets years ago. So that's a real estate investing technique. Raise the sales price. As long as it appraises, then you can get some seller help. Okay, so those are the scenarios in which you can find yourself in as a buyer, and those are the instances in how you can work around it. Okay, work around some of those issues. Okay. So, what would be the first step? A lot of people say, KJ, what's the first step? I would say your first step is to partner with a knowledgeable real estate agent and mortgage person. A lot of people, they want your business. It's very competitive out here. You go on Zillow, you go on Facebook, they got all these smiles, these videos they're doing, and they're very good marketers. So you're seeing them a lot, you're getting familiar with their face, but you have to interview your realtor. Are you familiar and proficient with the first-time homebuyer programs? How can they benefit me? Who do you know that can help me facilitate that process? And they need to know something about it, because if something goes wrong with this program, they need to have another program available to you. And that's where my team and I add value, because I'm a realtor and I've done predominantly first-time homebuyer workshops and programs and work with buyers. And I have a team of loan officers. I don't just have one person. I have a team of loan officers, okay? Now, if you're out there on Facebook Live, I want y'all to hit that like button for me, okay? Hit that like button, all right? So I have a team of loan officers that I work with to help me through this process, okay? So your realtor should have that. And again, your loan officer. Some people are afraid of pulling their credit and starting because they're looking at their Credit Karma, or they're looking at their freecreditreport.com or some other third-party credit monitoring system as a basis for their credit score. And a lot of times they're off, and they're off tragically. All right? If you're looking to buy a house, have your mortgage person pull your credit. Someone who's willing to work with you, because here's the classic line, and we're going to get into credit in a moment. You pull your credit, you're not ready, wait 6 months and come back. Have anybody ever heard that? I've heard that. When I went to buy a house, my credit was horrible. As a matter of fact, I think Homeland Security was created because I applied for a mortgage. You know, my credit was terrible, okay? But the mortgage person said, and I heard this from at least 3 or 4, wait 6 months and call back, because you had faith, and I was thinking God going to do the exceeding and abundant, and the abundant. I'm a head, not the tail. I'm above, not beneath. I'm going to get my house. So I was going from this person to that person to that person, getting told the same thing. Credit wasn't good, okay? Until someone sat down with me and said, listen, this is how you get your credit where it needs to be. Here's what you don't have, here's what you do have, and here's what you need to get. And then the 6 months actually meant something at that point. But pulling your credit and saying, wait 6 months and come back without a game plan is absolutely just, it's impersonable. And I apologize on behalf of any mortgage or real estate professional that have told you that, because we're going to give you some concrete information for you to use to help you out. So don't be afraid. Step out on faith. Go ahead. Sit down with a loan officer, one of my loan officers. Here's how they can help you. They will pull your credit. They'll look at your documentation. And from a documentation standpoint, from a geographic standpoint, they will be able to help you determine what you qualify for, what programs you qualify for, regardless of your credit. Then the only thing you have to worry about is getting your credit where it needs to be to qualify. Okay? Now, my loan officers, and a lot of them have it, but in particular, they'll pull your credit and they can run you through their simulator, in-house simulator, and they can tell you from A to Z, you need to do this and this and that, and we can help you get your credit where it needs to be and you'll qualify. Sometimes they'll even have an underwriter look at it and say, listen, they need to add some credit, or they need to pay these credit cards down, or they need to put some space in between this lateness and that lateness. So get that information from your loan officer. Don't sit behind the scenes thinking you're going to get, trying to get a high credit score. And I mean, I seen somewhere on Facebook that someone just got a property, a mortgage with a 580 credit score. Okay, and then so it's a lot of resources out here. So get pre-approved. Let a loan officer look at your information. Let them work out what you need to do to give you a game plan, a bona fide 3 to 6 month game plan, or if it's a 12-month game plan. But it'll be bona fide. They're gonna run you through their internal credit system and tell you this is what you need to do. So that takes the guesswork out of you trying to figure out what to do. Okay, so you're not at this alone. We're here for you. KJ Johnson, your trusted real estate professional. Here's the book. Wrote a book about it. All right? So start there. What do you do next? Follow the plan. Some people get pre-approved or they get a 6-month plan, and then they want to go out and start looking at houses. You're not at that stage yet. It's not, let's get you pre-approved. You're not ready, and then you start looking at houses. Do your due diligence. Follow your plan. Follow your script. I had to follow one, and I watched my credit score go from the tanker up into well into the 700s in a fraction of the time. I share that information with you, we do have credit repair services that we can partner you with because sometimes people have intense situations which require a little bit more than just that consultation. But we have resources for you, all right? So we have a no buyer left behind initiative. If you have a job, if you have income, if you're paying rent, and you don't have any circumstances that will keep you from buying, and it's just like credit, then you're good to go, all right? KJ Johnson, your trusted real estate professional, 443-744-5280. Holla at your boy. Okay. What you need to do next, okay? Partner with a realtor. You go out and then you start looking for a house. That's what you do. Get pre-approved first. Find out what your game plan is. Once you get pre-approved, now it's time to start shopping. Now it's time to start looking for a house, and not before then. Sometimes real estate agents will pacify buyers, and I'll take you out, and it really just creates an anxiety in the buyer to want to do it now. It does. It did for me. It did for me. I mean, because, again, my credit was not good. I did not have a good experience with my first real estate agent. As a matter of fact, my first real estate agent, we were out looking at property, and she had a calculator, and she was calculating, I didn't know what. And every time we went to a house, she would whip out this calculator. So one day when I found the house I was interested in, I said, well, what's the, what are you calculating? What's my mortgage on this house? She said, oh, I don't know. I said, well, what's that you're calculating? She said, oh, I'm calculating my commission. I was like, well, ma'am, you haven't made one yet, So I fired her, and her broker called me. And he apologized. He said, KJ, there's two people in the world. People who get things done and people who don't get things done. I'm a person who get things done. She's an agent of my brokerage. I'm taking full charge of your file. I'm apologizing on her behalf. Give me an opportunity to put my system in place to help you purchase a house. And I tell you, it was the absolute best thing that I did, and that's the reason why I'm a realtor today, because he suggested that I get my real estate license. He said, you got the heart, you got the eye of a tiger, you'll be great at this business. And plus I had a story, again, bad credit, good credit programs. I remember I was applying for this particular program, and I was applying for this program, and the program ran out of money right while we was in the process, right? So I had to borrow from my 401k to get this property that I purchased. But it was okay. I had the resources available. And again, just not knowing the programs that were all available to me then, that's the reason why that's my passion now, to make them available to you. Okay? All right. So here's a glimpse of the home buying process. You do an application. You get an appraisal. You create an agency relationship with your realtor. Okay? You go under contract. Okay? You're going to get your closing costs paid. In your contract is going to be contingencies, contingent on the appraisal, contingent on the home inspection, okay? Those things are safeguards that protect you. Okay, then you do a final walkthrough. You go back to the house after the home inspection is done, or sometimes you have what they call lender required repairs. Okay, the lender required repairs are complete. That comes from the appraisal. And then you go back and then you actually do the walkthrough, and that's when you're on the hook for 30 years. All right, now then you become a homeowner. All right, so that portion of the webinar is over. I know you guys are calling in. Just give me a moment. Once I get through the webinar, I promise you I will take some calls. I just want to get through the information, if you don't mind. And again, you're on Facebook Live, hit that like button, okay? Hit that like button, all right? Now, I don't have any notes on this, but we're going to talk about credit for a minute, okay? A lot of people are going through credit issues and credit challenges, and they really don't know what to do. So I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do that can help you out and help you along. But again, we do have a credit repair service that we can offer you. They will go into more detail, okay? So the first thing you want to do is confront your credit, okay? Sit down with the loan officer. Have them pull your credit. Get a copy of your credit report, okay? If you do not have any good lines of credit or trade lines, then you have to create some. If you had credit cards that you paid late and you closed them out, you have to create some new good credit, right? So go to fingerhut.com, www.fingerhut.com. It's a great place. You can get yourself a Fingerhut account, and that'll start the process of you rebuilding your credit. You know, a lot of people aren't crazy about Fingerhut because their prices are high, but these are foundational accounts. You're trying to get your score up, your score where it needs to be. Get Fingerhut, buy a toaster, and keep it moving, okay? The next thing you want to do is get yourself 2 secure credit cards, okay? You can go to your local credit union. A lot of times they'll have it. Capital One. Shout out to Capital One for always being there for my clients. You can do it through them or your bank. When you get that credit card, keep your balances low. $10 or less or better. Here's the reason why sometimes your credit score fluctuates. You have 5 credit cards, okay? 3 of them are $1,000. 2 of them are $500 each. When you utilize more than 30% of those credit cards at any given time, that compromises your score. So if you're on an app that is monitoring your credit and you're shopping for your kids or you're shopping for your wife or your family and you're starting to see your score go up and down, that's the reason why. Don't hit the panic button. It's because your utilization rate, the amount of credit that you have versus the amount of credit that is in use. So you want to keep the use low and the available credit high, which changes your credit score and helps improve your credit. That is a myth, secret reveal live today. Utilization rate. Keep your balances low. Now you can use it. I mean, if you have a significant person in your life or your kids, you're gonna go out. You're gonna buy crabs. You're gonna go get jerk. You're gonna be on Shopify. You're gonna spend it. But just keep in mind 2 key things. You have a due date, which you want to pay on time. Always want to pay 5 days before, if need be. And you have a cycle date or a report date. That is the date that they report to the credit bureaus what your balance is, what your limit is at that time. So if you have a credit card that's $500 and your cycle date or your report date is the 19th, then you have until before the 19th to pay that account down to $10 or less, so when it reports at a lower balance, which will help your score. Okay? Sometimes it's good to just keep a rolling small balance. You know, sometimes it's good to use your credit card when you get paid, just pay it off right away or within 3 days or so. Okay? But that's how you can really kind of start the foundation of building your credit. Now, some people say, well, I want a high credit score, I want a 700 credit score, I want an 800 credit score. It's really unfair how they rate credit. Fair, good, horrible, because at the end of the day, let me just say this. Let me be honest with you, okay? You heard this from KJ live, the First Time Home Buyer webinar. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. All right. You need to know where to shop your credit at, okay? If you have a 650 credit score and they're saying that you're average or below or fair, you have to know what that means for who. A 650 for a credit union may be exceptionally well opposed to 650 for your local bank. Okay? Knowing where to shop your credit is important. So don't fall into the rut of, because with a 650 credit score, you can get a 3% interest rate or lower on your car and your house now with a 650 or 640. Okay? Now, is it good to have a higher credit score? Yes. But don't stress yourself out trying to get to a 700 before you buy a house, because it's not going to make that much of a difference. Now, it does make a difference in terms of qualifying, how the underwriters look at you, how easy you can get approved. But if you just follow the steps, I've seen people go through with 650 credit scores and less and fly through the process of buying just as good as somebody with a 700. Okay? So don't stress yourself out trying to get this super high credit score before you buy a house, because you're going to miss an opportunity. All right? 640 is a good qualifying score. In some instances, it's going up to 660. But start there. Here's another thing you can do. Get added on as account as an authorized user. Okay? Now, some people are nervous about that, but it's still relevant. It still works down. If that's the only credit that you have, no one's going to buy that. They're hip to that. So you have to have your own standalone credit. So ask someone that has good credit. And I'm going to tell you a horror story after I tell you this. That maybe have had that credit for a while, 5 years, 10 years, or longer. That history on your credit report will help boost your credit score tremendously. Okay, they only need to add you on that credit card for 3 months, and then they can take you off. And then once they take you off, that history stays on your credit for 5 years. Okay? All of that I'm telling you, done within the next 30 days, can change your credit profile and get you on the road to a 700 or maybe even an 800 credit score. Okay? Now, the rule of thumb, if you want them scores to go up to the 700s, you need at least 5 to 6 positive lines of credit. Now, I suggest more on the 7 side, because more irons in the fire, the better. So if you have 4 credit cards, if you have a Fingerhut account, you don't necessarily need a car loan. You can have, Macy's. Macy's or Walmart, something like that. That's good. Or a personal loan with your credit union. That's good. Okay? Now, if you're trying to get an 800 credit score, that's a whole different scenario. That's something completely different. All right? I don't really want to get into that right now, but, you're going to need at least 16 to 22 lines of credit, positive lines of credit, and you would have need to have that credit for at least 9 years. So a lot of people are really trying to hit that number. They don't really know the formula. And then there's so many other facets of that, because you hear people say credit score cards. Well, the credit bureaus have credit score cards that change. It's like 16 different scorecards, and you are segmented into those different scorecards as your score or your credit score go up. So, for instance, if you file for bankruptcy, that's your scorecard. You file for bankruptcy and you reestablish credit. That's on a scorecard. You file bankruptcy and you reestablish your credit and then you paid late. That's a different scorecard. So you have to get segmented from scorecard to scorecard to see your score go up. And you need to know what are the criteria, or what is the criteria for each scorecard. No, it's just a lot of math. So we can give you general information, but unless you are working for the bureaus or some real insider scoop, don't stress yourself out. You get to a 700, 720, they're gonna you know how it is. When you have bad credit, they call you by your first name. When you have good credit, they call you by your last name. All right, so you get to the 700, you definitely getting called by your last name, okay? Until then, that's how they did me. When I applied for my mortgage, they said, KJ, you can't buy a house. That's it. As soon as my credit score was increased, they went from KJ to Mr. Johnson. And that's how they'll treat you, all right? Take your credit serious. Treat your credit. And if you have, I know some of you have children, right? Remember when your child was young and they would make one sound and you would just jump up and you were just there. You were very attentive. That's how you have to be about your credit. If something happens, a ding or something comes in the mail, jump on it right away. Be very attentive. Become obsessed with it and watch it and monitor it, and you'll see it start to flourish, okay? And again, we have credit repair services for you. You can give me a call, 443-744-5280. KJ Johnson, your trusted real estate professional, have all the resources that you need. All right? Now, I'm ready to get into some of the programs, and at the conclusion of the programs, I'm going to take a few calls. I told you guys I wasn't going to keep you on here long. I'm hoping that you got a lot of good information so far, and I look forward to helping you guys transition into home ownership. Again, you can go to kjjohnsonteam.com. You can fill out a profile, search for property. We can set up a consultation. You get this book free or this book for free at the consultation. And they're great, very, very good reads, okay? So partner with us, KJ Johnson with Realty Executives Premier. Been in the business for 16 years. And again, my passion is the first-time buyer. I got lost in the first-time home buyer abyss because my credit wasn't good, and I didn't understand a whole lot about the process. But my second realtor, shout out, Mr. Clarence, wherever you are, how you doing? Mr. Clarence, I tell you, he was just phenomenal, and he's the reason why I do what I do today. I have a lot of respect for that man, all right? So, programs, let's get going. You ready? Here we go. Okay, Merlin Mortgage Program, okay? Great program. They have a couple of different facets to it, okay? They have a grant assist, which will give you up to 101% financing. So there's a component that will give you 3%, and then there's a component that will give you 4%. My loan officers that I work with are proficient in these programs, all right? Give me a call or shoot me a text. I can get you in contact with one of my preferred lenders. If you text me at 443-744-5280 and you want to apply today for your mortgage, at the conclusion of this, I can actually send you a link and their contact information, all right? My preferred lender of choice today is going to be Brian Jones with Meridian Bank. He's an exceptional loan officer, been in the business for years. He's normally at these seminars with me. He's a great guy. His number is 410-935-6746. That's 410-935-6746. Now, Bryant Jones is not only a loan officer, he's actually a vice president of the bank. So he has a team of people under him. He's very proficient. I've been using him for a long time now. He's very, very good. Now, again, I have a team of loan officers that I work with. Today, Brian Jones is going to be the one that I would suggest that you guys get in contact with in reference to the programs I'm going to discuss. All right? The next one is FHLB, Federal Home Loan Bank. That's going to give you a $5,000 grant, okay? It's a great program, okay? The Community Partners Program, that's going to give you up to $7,500 down, okay? There is the Chenoa program, which is another 100% financing. It covers your 3.5% down. Chenoa, C-H-E-N-O-A, Chenoa program. Okay, those programs are really good. Mr. Jones can do them. He's very proficient in them. Now, listen, let me talk to you about some of the programs, and you can actually just be very use them at your discretion, because some programs actually will mature or go away after 5 years, and some of them run as long as your mortgage, for 30 years. Now, no one wants to have to pay a loan back or a mortgage back after 30 years, or 10 years into your mortgage, you want to do a refinance to send your child to college, and then you have this sum of money just sitting here that you owe. So you can stack some of these programs, but I encourage you not to stack them all because you may not need them all. So some people are like, I want as much money as I can get. And sometimes they come with a higher interest rate, and sometimes, it's just not free money anymore. And we try to find you a program that will go away after 5 years. That's free money. If you have to pay it back after 25 years, 30 years, that's not necessarily free money. Okay? So those are the programs that I'm going to talk about today. Now Mr. Jones could have more if you're in PG County, and there are other programs in Howard County. There are programs Baltimore County. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of programs out there for you, but those are the main ones out there that are beneficial to you, that are good for you. Okay, there's Pathways to Purchase out there in PG County. That's a great program as well. But sometimes these programs have to be funded. Sometimes they run out of money. Now, the Maryland Mortgage Program, we call it Old Faithful. They always have money. Now, there was a time where the Maryland Mortgage Program only gave you $5,000, or if you were in PG County, $7,500. And 2 years ago, they changed it to they give you a percentage of the sales price of the house. Now, that's phenomenal. That's big. Now, will it change back? It may. Who knows? No one anticipated changing before. So it's really a good time for you to partner with us. Let's help you get you pre-approved, identify the programs that you qualify for, and get you out looking for a property. Okay? Now, that's going to conclude the webinar as of right now. Hey, let's take some calls. 1-855-493-6499. If you have any questions, now is the time to call. Y'all been calling me. You've been texting. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, now is the time to call. I'll take some calls. Okay? And don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget, when we meet, you get this book free. It's going to save you a lot of time, help you with a lot of questions. All right? Now, the phone was ringing off the hook. Now the phone is not ringing. So, listen, if you have any concerns or questions, 443-744-5280. That is my personal cell number. I've been in the business for 16 years. Realty Executives Premier, KJ Johnson, your trusted real estate professional. And again, our next webinar is going to be within 2 weeks. So if you know someone that can benefit from this information, we're doing it again in 2 weeks. All right? Thank you guys for signing in, and we appreciate you. Hey, turn that music up. There you go. I got a caller. This is KJ Johnson live webinar. How may I help you today? Oh, they hung up. Yep, if you get a chance, call back. 1-855-493-6499. 1-855-493-6499. KJ Johnson, your trusted real estate professional. Hit that like button. Yeah, we're going to give you a couple of more minutes, and then we're going to be signing off. Signing off.
Hello?
Hello, you're live with the KJ Johnson First Time Home Buy webinar. How may I help you today?
Hi, my name is Tasha, and I was on the webinar. And
Oh, thank you.
The question that I had was in regards to the certifications that you were mentioning about electrical certification, plumbing certification. And my question is, doesn't a home inspection cover all of that?
Could you turn it down in the background a little bit? It's kind of distorting on our end. Just a little bit. Okay, I'm sorry. What was your question?
Doesn't a home inspection cover all of those certifications?
One more time.
Hold on one second. I was trying to listen at work. I was asking, doesn't a home inspection cover all of those certifications?
No, a home inspection doesn't come with that. So when you do a home inspection, you find or you do what they call your due diligence. And then you ask the seller for those certifications. So they don't automatically come with it. Now, a good seller, before they get their home prepared for sale, they'll do a preliminary home inspection. Every home inspector is going to find something different. But a good seller will do a home inspection. They'll identify some issues, and they'll fix them. But you can get 5 different home inspectors out there, and they're all going to find something different.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, I thank you. I'm going to be calling you later on. I'm at work. I was listening to it at work.
Oh, thank you so much.
Now it's like getting busy, so I'm going to give you a call. I don't know how late you're there, but I'll give you a call back later.
Hey, I am here for you. You call me anytime. 443-744-5280. I got you covered.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
All right, God bless. Her question was about home inspections. She wanted to know, does those certifications automatically come with the home inspection? Absolutely not. Okay, you have to do your due diligence and ask for that information. All right? All right. We got one bold caller. Come on, I know there's some more out there. Come on, 1-855-493-6499. KJ Johnson, first-time home buyer, live webinar. All right, couple of questions. How do you spell Chenoa? Chenoa is Chenoa. That's the program, Chenoa. All right. Who? Lynette? Miss Lynette?
Yes.
Hey, thanks for calling in. KJ Johnson, First Time Home Buy Webinar. How may I help you today?
I'm just trying to find out, do you, like with new construction homes?
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah. Turn the volume down on her end. Oh, yeah, on your end, if you can turn the volume down just a little bit, please, I would appreciate it.
Do you need an inspection for new construction homes?
That's a very, very good question. Let me just tell you this. The new construction process is very vigorous. They have to go through a lot of permits with the city and the county. Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ma'am? Okay, so the question was, do you need a home inspection for new construction?
Yes.
Right. Here's the answer to that.
Yes.
All right, so when you're going through the new construction process, they go through a vigorous approval process with the county, with the state. It's very vigorous, but you still have to protect your own interests and, yes, get a home inspection to protect your interests. Last year, it was year before last, I sold a property, beautiful home. I won't say the name of the builder. $550,000 house. I mean, the house was just laid out. We go downstairs. Okay. The support beam to the house was leaning like this. I mean, this is the support structure to this house. The wood at the top had termite damage. It was water leaking in the corner. This is a brand new house. No one lived in, right? So it's just like any other house. Like some people think I'm going to get a new construction because they're going to escape things that happen in the house, but there's really no difference. So we were able to get a waterproof certification. We were able to get that beam straightened out. We was able to get the beams that had the termite damage removed and some other items. But, yes, a new construction doesn't safeguard you from a home inspection. You may have less issues, but depending on the builder, if it's not a reputable builder, you may have more issues. So yes, absolutely. With my clients, we do home inspections. Yep. Hey, listen, I have somebody else on the other line. I'm going to take another call, all right? Next caller, this is KJ Johnson. May I help you? Hey.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for calling in. Hey, this is KJ. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Hi.
I needed to get clarification. You were talking about the different programs.
Yes.
That are offered, but I didn't hear everything for the FHLB, the community partners, and the Shanoa. I didn't hear the difference between those three.
Okay, so with the FHLB, you can get up to $5,000 in down payment assistance, and you can use that with the Maryland Mortgage Program. Okay, now in some instances you can get $7,500. The community partners is $7,500. That's more for like educators, first responders, firefighters, healthcare workers. That's more for them. The community partners. Okay, and the Chenoa program is 3.5% of the sales price of the house. Okay, so whatever the sales price is 3.5% of that. Okay, no problem.
Alrighty.
Now, see, all you have to do is just set up an appointment with me. You'll get this book, and we'll go over everything you need. All right?
Okay.
Listen.
How soon should... Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll give you a call later.
All right, no problem, ma'am. You have a great day. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you. All right.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
You got another caller? No other callers? All right. Well, listen, guys. It's 11:25, and it's been fun. I appreciate you guys taking your time and tuning in with me today. And, yes, I'm dressed casual. I wanted to be personable. I didn't want to come out with a suit and a tie and be all choked up. I wanted to be relaxed because I want you to relax. I'm a real person. I've been in the business for 16 years. And, hey, look, the phone is still ringing. Let's get it going. Hey, thanks for calling in. KJ Johnson, live first time home buyer webinar. Turn your volume down on your end. We'll give them time to call back. They're still calling, so I'm just gonna hang around a little bit. Yep. So if you're gonna call in, turn down the volume on your end so it doesn't get distorted. Okay? On your computer, turn down the volume on your computer. Thank you for calling. It's KJ Johnson. May I help you?
Hi.
Hey.
My name is Christopher Rogers. I just my question is, once you fill out the loan application process, well, the whole you get approved for all of this stuff. How long does that approval last?
In most cases, your approval should last you for 90 days. Okay.
90 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, here's the difference.
That was a question of mine that was happening because I wanted to know, did I have time to, set up all the moving, getting all that other stuff out of the way? Right.
Now, here's the other part to that. Depending on what program you qualify for, they may run out of money in 30 days. So your approval could be good, but until you go under contract and they set some of that money aside, depending on the program, you could run out of money on that program.
Ah, okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So it's a great thing to get pre-approved, identify the program, and then ask your mortgage professional. Again, hey, give Brian a call, 410-935-6746. He's great at this. He's the best that I know at this. Well, one of the best. I can't say the best because I might get caught somewhere. And they say, hey, KJ, I'm one of your loan officers on your team. You said Brian was the best. I'd be in trouble. But he's very proficient at that.
Right.
Brian Jones and they're sponsoring this webinar. So they're going to get the kudos today.
Got it. Got it.
All right.
Thank you.
Hey, no problem. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir. I appreciate you calling.
You too.
All right,
Thank you.
All right. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Hey, this is KJ Johnson live at the First Time Home Buy webinar. May I help you?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. What about yourself?
I'm sorry?
Hey, turn down the volume on your computer just a little bit.
Okay, I got it.
All right. How may I help you today?
Hi. I was trying to find out if you already know you have bad credit, should you get pre-approved first or go through the mortgage loan or the credit repair program first? Which one do you start with?
That's a very, very good question. And here's why I would tell you to just apply for a mortgage first. Here's the reason why. When you can start the credit repair process, but if you don't know, if you're not looking at your credit through the eyes of a lender, through the eyes of an underwriter, you don't really know the details that they're looking at. So if you haven't at least had your credit pulled and then sent to a credit repair person, that would be better than just going to a credit repair person. Now listen, I love credit repair. It has helped me. I've helped several people, but sometimes their business model is to get you in credit repair and keep you paying monthly. Okay, they want to string it out as long as you can. That's the reason why we change credit repair partners, because we want to sell you a house. We don't want to string you out for 12 months to get some type of residual income off you. That's not what that service is for. It's to help the consumer achieve a goal, and in this instance, it's home ownership. So if you sit with a loan officer, preferably Brian Jones for today, 410-935-6746. Brian Jones, Meridian Bank, Vice President and Loan Officer. You want to reach out to him. What you want to do is have him pull your credit. Have him look at it and say, this is what the game plan is. Mr. Jones is very proficient with credit, very proficient with the approval process, and he can give you a game plan. Now, a credit repair person may take your credit report and then add to his game plan because, again, he's in the mortgage industry. He's a loan officer. But a credit repair person may have a little bit more knowledge on how to get that score a little higher in a fraction of the time. Okay?
Okay.
But definitely start there so that you're looking at the same credit report that they're going to look at. If you go through a credit repair company and they use a third-party credit monitoring service, the algorithms are different. So the goals are different. So you may hit 660 with your credit repair person. You go back to your mortgage person, he pull your credit, you still at a 635. But if your mortgage person gives you what you need to do, and then your credit repair person adds to that, then you'll always be better because you did exactly what the loan officer suggested. Does it answer your question?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Hey, no problem. Thanks
for
calling in.
You'll be hearing from us.
All right, no problem. Thank you, man. Again, we have credit repair resources. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a call. We can tap you into them and get you going. 443-744-5280. We can make it happen. All right, 631. Any more callers? Listen, we have a no buyer left behind initiative. Okay, we're not going to leave you behind. Okay, the number is 1-855-493-6499. If you're on Facebook Live still, hit that like button. All right. Well, you know what? This is going to conclude our First Time Home Buyer webinar. Thank you guys so much. KJ Johnson, your trusted real estate professional. 443-744-5280. KJ Johnson, team of realty executives, premier in Birchville, Maryland. We appreciate you. www.kjjohnson.team.com. Until next time, God bless.